Hi, today we're here for a candid conversation with Spread the Muskaan. We will be diving deep into the influencer discovery, influencer industry, and her own personal experience with fame, with popularity, with money, with everything about Spread the Muskaan. So let's start. Muskaan, can you introduce yourself? Tell us something about you.
Hi, myself Muskan Ranka, and I go by the name Spread the Muskaan. More like Muskan really, but okay. I am a content creator and an aspiring actor. I have been into the content industry since past 3 years, and yeah, I think that's pretty much about it.
Okay. So one of the primary things I think that we think about, how many followers do you have right now?
It's 170k right now on Instagram and building on YouTube.
Right, approximately. And so in how much time did it take you to get 170k sort of influencers?
It was not a stagnant journey, or it was not like this. It was this, and then this. It was very weird. It was a lot of dips, it was a lot of highs, a lot of lows. And if I had to really tell about it, I mean, I started way before Reels, but the thing is that I realized that IGTV wasn't working, and I used to do poetry earlier. Right now I am in the comedy genre, comedy and lifestyle space, but I used to do poetry and storytelling earlier. And as soon as Reel came out, it was only 15 seconds. So I tried fitting in all those poetries or all those stuff that I used to build back in 2020. So I tried fitting that in 15-second reels, but it really did not work out because you just cannot stitch a story in 15 seconds. It's just not how it works. So I realized that poetry to kaam nahi kar raha, kuch aur karna padega. And then I started with, so I used to consume a lot of comedy content. I used to follow TVF, AIB back in 2012, 2013, and I was extremely influenced by their sketches. So I wanted to do something in the comedy space, and then I started making quirky, funny 15-second reels, and one of those worked out great for me. I started right with the reels around, so reels was established in July and I started by August 2020, and I mean, somehow I summoned up the guts to put my first reel and then the second reel and then the third reel. It used to take a lot because my friends were kind of supportive, but all the people from my college, since it was lockdown, everybody was at home. So people from my college used to kind of not like my content, or maybe like bullying me for my content or whatever they did. That really did not bother me. So I used to continue creating reels, and then one of those days when one of your reels just goes viral overnight, and that came very early to me, like the virality. Like I think I started, and by the time I started, third or fourth reel of mine went viral, like overnight viral. Like it was like 1.1 million in a day.
What was the reel about? Do you remember?
It was Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma.
Okay.
Yeah. So you know how this mystery, and it was more like an accidental virality because I had stopped following Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma, so I didn't know that Pinku's parents were revealed. So it was the reel was around my doubt about how Pinku's parents are not revealed. So that went viral because a lot of people could resonate to it. A lot of people like, हमें भी नहीं बताया Pinku के माँ बाप कौन है. So maybe I'm assuming that was the reason that went viral overnight, and then that video happened, and then a lot of different videos. I tried a lot of different IPs, and I tried a lot of things that were already well established on the internet. So I kind of played it safe. I sometimes used to experiment with my content, I sometimes did not. So just to understand the content space, you have to experiment. You have to make random reels, random video content, post content, anything you want to understand what your audience is, what the audience that you want to capture wants to see. So I used to try a lot in pop culture. I used to cover up a lot of trending news. I used to make sketchy content. I used to make observational comedy content. I used to make impromptu content as well. So it was various different content pieces that I used to create, and then little by little, it wasn't like, I mean, sometimes it was a lot of followers in a single night. Sometimes it was a very steady growth, and sometimes it was very stagnant. Sometimes it was no growth, none, like absolutely none. Like मतलब मैं लिटरली पूरे महीने तक देयर यूज्ड टू बी नो एब्सोल्यूट नो ग्रोथ इन फॉलोअर्स, नो ग्रोथ इन एंगेजमेंट, नो damn growth in reach, and there are times when you just feel like giving up.
Right.
And one of those times came in my content journey in 2021 February, March actually, when I had hit 126k, 25 to be exact. I did 125k. It was a great plunge, and then it just stopped. Like, it just became very saturated, very stagnant. There was no growth, and I was getting so demotivated. यार कि भाई नहीं चल रहा, मैं कितना try करूँ? I was trying so many different things, and none of those were working for me. And then बहुत demotivation होता है. You just feel like my entire confidence was only shattered.
Right.
And I just felt like मुझसे तो हो नहीं पाएगा, मैं तो कर ही नहीं पाऊंगी, तो मैं मुझसे होगा ही नहीं. And I just cannot show up every day on the internet, show up my face, and then just be like entertaining people. Just like that. I just could not take it anymore, and then I stopped creating content for a year and a half.
So after 125k followers, you just stopped. You took a break for 1 year.
I used to create content, but it was mostly branded content or just the content for topicality, virality sake. But not the content that I'm very proud of, or not the kind of content that because I was just demotivated, and I was just like for the consistency sake. And sometimes, most of the times, I wasn't even consistent. Like, a reel in a month is not consistent.
Definitely,
it's just not.
It's not.
And for my genre, it's really not.
Yeah, right. So I would say that if you took that 1 year ka break in the middle, what happened to you? Did your followers decrease or something in that 1 year?
So I went from 126 to 84k. So that's like 42,000.
Yeah.
So I lost 42,000 followers
Over the year.
Over a year and a half.
Okay.
So it was like I took a proper break from everyday content or from the consistency that I was maintaining in July 2021 till December 2022.
Makes sense. So, I mean, I would say the initial question, coming back to it, how long did it take you total, the journey throughout, to gain the followers that you have right now?
Currently, it took me 3 years.
3 years of content, right? And are you doing this full time, or are you also doing something else with it?
Currently, I am doing this full time.
Okay.
But in the longer term, I mean, I'm more focused towards acting.
Okay. So you want to pursue acting like professionally?
Yeah, I'm a trained actor.
Okay, you're a trained actor. So this was your plan throughout, like from the beginning, that if influencer, I think content creation, what I feel for most of the people just happens. No one starts out thinking अभी content ही बनाएंगे, right? Or was it? Am I wrong here?
So I've always wanted to become an actor. मतलब I knew. मुझे तो मतलब acting ही करनी है. But the place where I'm from, the town that I'm from, it does not have a lot of opportunity. Literally zero opportunities. And I didn't know, and I still am not. It's not like MBA. It's not like CA. You give your first attempt, second attempt, you will give CPT, IPCC, CA, and then you will be done with it. There's no specific step to it.
Right.
You grow as you go through, and you make your own steps. You make your own journey. So मुझे वैसे पता था कि मुझे एक्टिंग करनी है, मुझे एक्टर बनना है, लेकिन मुझे ये नहीं पता था कैसे. तो मैंने ज्ञान तो हर तरीके का ले लिया, मैंने एक्सपीरियंस हर जगह का ले लिया. I used to perform when I was a kid. I used to perform in Ramleela Maidan. I used to be a part of all my school kids. Everybody knew I loved acting since then. And as soon as I entered college, I was a part of my drama society. I represented my drama society in Mood Indigo and stuff. And then I learned acting. I mean, after, like, during my MBA, I joined this acting school as well to learn acting. But I feel like acting is something that you never know the journey for.
Right.
And content, as you said, just happened in a sort of way that, यार honestly मुझे तो पता भी नहीं था कि influencers क्या होते हैं, और पता है किसको पता था, मतलब I think lockdown से पहले तो किसी को भी नहीं पता था.
Established नहीं था.
Absolutely no idea influencer is even a thing. And I would still not want to be called not want to be referred as an influencer, but rather a content creator. And I feel like, मतलब मुझे तो पता भी नहीं था कि इस चीज़ से पैसे भी कमा सकते हैं. इस चीज़ के लिए ब्रांड्स आती हैं, इस चीज़ के लिए, मतलब ये तो मैं ऐसी बना रही थी वीडियो.
Right.
I was just like, it was my private account that I just made public so that people could watch my long ass 16-minute IGTV videos or the poems that I used to make so I used to do a lot of open mics back then for my poetry and storytelling. So I just wanted people to watch that. And then reels happened, and then as I told you, I started with comedy, and then I stuck to it. And then brands kept coming in and all of that. But honestly, मुझे नहीं पता था. I had absolutely no idea about creator space, creator economy. And I never projected also that this could be this huge. What it is in 2023, it's only going to be more huge in 2024.
Right. So, what I would like to say that if you were like, okay, one of the questions which I think comes to my mind, when you were sure that you want to be an actor, why do an MBA? Matlab, was it like a backup or what? And okay, also for a creator, let's say a creator who's looking to enter the industry in 2023 or 2024, what would you recommend? Would you recommend them to have a backup, or would you recommend them to just sort of?
If they're starting now, because projecting 2024, I really feel like the audience, the market is only going to get more and more saturated.
Right.
Yeah, because everybody is an influencer now, is a content creator now, is a performer now, and the competition is crazy. The market is huge there. I mean, if you're looking at it from a business point of view, if you want brands to pick you, you have to redefine yourself, and you have to differentiate yourself from what you bring to the table, and what is that something so unique about you that only you can do it, and you know that only you've cracked it, and only you can do it, nobody else can do that. So if you pick a niche, and if you find that IP or something that works for you, is you and is genuinely you, is very authentic, I feel like your content should be as authentic as possible, and it should be end to end you. It's you. अगर किसी को cinematography पसंद है, किसी को storytelling पसंद है, but what people like the most is the authenticity of the creator of that piece of content. And it can be any genre.
Right.
So it should be really you, who you really are.
Okay. So, but like I said, like if I had to objectively ask if someone wants to enter the industry in 2024, right, a creator or like a person who doesn't have following as of now, would you recommend them, yes or no?
I would, yes, definitely I would.
Okay.
I mean, I would suggest everyone to be a content creator.
Okay.
But I also feel like वो भूख को नहीं चाहिए, पता है क्या? तो I would also recommend for their safety purposes that they should have a backup plan.
Like a backup. So MBA was MBA your backup?
Not really. So I was already doing MBA while I was just starting out with content.
Okay.
So it was not like MBA was always in the picture.
Okay.
Because parental pressure. तो मैंने पहले engineering करी और फिर मैंने MBA करा. MBA because I absolutely love advertising and marketing.
Okay.
And I knew that I always wanted to work with brands in some sort of way that I could use my brainchild for them to promote their products or services.
Right.
And that's something that I genuinely love.
Okay.
So MBA I really wanted to do. I don't know why I became a techie. So there was a phase of my life where I was like a proper coder. Like I used to build apps and stuff which I do not remember. अभी मुझसे syntax भी पूछोगे तो मुझे नहीं आएगा C++ का, but I used to be that.
Right.
And it just happened. I mean, and I never saw it as a business opportunity for the longest of what I've known. Even till last year, I never thought of it as something that I could do full time.
Okay, but
it takes guts.
So last year, were you doing a job before this?
Yes.
Okay, you were doing.
So right after my college, I absolutely loved advertising.
Right.
So I used to work with an advertising agency.
Okay.
And I used to work for L'Oreal's luxury segment.
Okay. And then you quit your job to do this full time.
Yes.
Okay, what would that point be? Would that point be after you gained a certain number of followers, or after you earned a certain amount of income from that?
It was obviously none of those. It was just like dissatisfaction from a 9 to 5, which was more like 9 to 11 in the night.
Yeah, right.
But I felt like it was just not me. I mean, I knew that I was great at my job. I was very truthful, very honest, and I religiously worked for the brands that I was working for. But it just didn't hit me. I mean, I felt like I was working very mechanically.
Right.
कि मैं बहुत मशीन की तरह काम कर रही हूँ, कर्मचारी की तरह, आप मुझे आओगे काम बताओगे, वो मैं ठीक है बिना दिमाग लगाए कर दूंगी. तो my brain cell was not being utilized and I was not able to leverage this, and it was just really, it really used to bug me. So what I used to do is somehow I used to make time for practicing my monologues and creating something, and I still used to sort of create videos not very consistently, but वही वो भूख को नहीं चाहिए. And then there was this one day, and it was very random, and it's not even relevant to content. One day, we just get a message from, I mean, all of us, my roommates, we just got a message from on the group from our other roommate who had left our house on a Friday night, and वो Sunday को सुबह सुबह सबको text करती है group पे, guys आज मेरा रोका है.
Oh shit.
And then that night she came back with all this mehendi in her hand, and she was engaged. And I am a Jain Marwadi. I come from a proper Rajasthani Marwadi community. और हम यहाँ पे बहुत जल्दी शादी करवा देते हैं. And to be really honest, I looked at her and I was like, भाई इतनी uncertain हो जाती है ना life. I cannot miss this opportunity. मुझे तो जो करना है मैं करूँगी. मुझे नहीं पता कि कल को मेरी शादी हो जाए, लेकिन मुझे ये तो करना है. और मुझे पता है कि मुझे नहीं मन लग रहा जॉब में. मुझे करना है कंटेंट, एंड इट डज नॉट मैटर दैट आई एम अर्निंग और नॉट अर्निंग, इफ आई एम एबल टू फीड माई सेल्फ और नॉट. ऑफ कोर्स आई मीन यू हैव टू बी एबल टू फीड योर सेल्फ, एटलीस्ट इतना कि मैं खुद के लिए 2 रोटी कमा पाऊँ. बट ऑनेस्टली इट्स रियली फॉर द फन ऑफ इट, फॉर द satisfaction that I used to get.
Okay.
And I was like यार जॉब से तो नहीं हो पा रहा.
Right. It was because job se you weren't feeling that kind of creative control over what you wanted to produce or what you wanted to create in life.
Exactly. And I mean, I've always wanted to create good ads for brands.
Okay.
Right. And I always knew that I could do that. And I was always very confident about it. But with the brands that I was working, since those were global brands, they don't give much creative liberty. They have their certain standards. Like for example, if there's a Diwali campaign, but it's a global brand, so they'll not be like, their Diwali campaign is not as effective as Cadbury ka Diwali campaign, Dairy Milk ka Diwali campaign, or something that is more that has more Indian touch to it. Those brands were proper from luxury segment, and they do not have great Diwali campaigns.
Right.
Or even if they did, it did not give me a lot of creative liberty to put my brains into the campaigns, and that was something that used to bug me a lot. Plus also the whole corporate culture, man. I mean, I like being disciplined, but again, if I'm doing this for somebody, I might as well do it for myself. The same amount of discipline.
Makes sense. But doesn't it sort of come with a lot of like uncertainty about income and future potential of things? Matlab, you're looking at quitting a full time which is giving you like a stable income to do something which you're passionate about, sure. Right. But don't you look at the future and be like, did you give yourself like a benchmark? Ki yaar, agar 6 mahine mein I did not earn this much or gain these many followers, I will quit. Go back to the
job. Followers, and honestly, it's really never about followers. Even from the economy point of view, even from the money aspect of it, it's really not about followers. For example, if I am an MNC, right? If I'm a big brand, and I know that I have to run a campaign, and I'm affiliating with a creator, right? So I am not investing money on the engagement that they are getting. I'm investing money on the brand value. So abhi, for example, it's really about, I don't think brands look at the number of followers as much as they look at the brand value of the creator. Okay. The brand that creator has made for themselves. Okay.
And how do you measure the brand? Is there an objective way? कि यार मतलब मेरे को कैसे पता चलेगा? Okay, essentially let me give you an example. मैं एक brand हूँ, right? I look at like bunch of creators. मुझे कैसे पता चलेगा which creator out of these will give me the maximum output? एक तो हो गए उनके engagement, analytics and right? But apart from that, अगर मुझे qualitatively analyze करना है एक brand को, qualitatively एक brand को analyze करना है एक creator को, तो वो कैसे करेगा?
I'll tell you. एक brand को एक creator को
analyze करना है, right?
So apart from the numbers that anyway data तो anybody can give, ठीक है भाई इतनी engagement है, इतनी reach है. Apart from that, they have to really look at the kind of content that the creator is making, right, and how well the brand, their products, their services can fit into the kind of content that the creator is making. Like, for example, if you give how do I put it? Wait, I have to think of an example.
No, please
of
take
something
your time.
that is very like not going to work. And also every campaign comes with a certain amount of mandates, guidelines, conditions, and certain amount of idea, and they have an idea.
Right.
Every campaign has some sort of storyline,
Right.
and then as per the storyline, you have to kind of, if I was a brand manager, which I used to be, तो it depends मेरा product क्या है और वो creator कितना मेरे product से resonate कर पाता है.
Right.
अभी if I give a very मतलब no offense, but अगर मैं किसी 4th tier city में रहने वाले एक बहुत ही local creator को, एक बहुत ही जिसका audience ही बहुत ही local है, उसको मैं एकदम extremely luxury hair product Keristas, Lancome, अगर मैं उसे जाके बोलूँगी कि sell it to your audience, उसका audience ही वैसा नहीं है.
Right.
Audience metrics भी depend करता है, वो भी फिर भी numbers हो गए. बेच वो फिर भी सकता है अगर वो वैसा टाइप का कंटेंट if they can come up with the sort of content, but again it will be a bad placement for the brand as well, because why would they affiliate with somebody who is known for being who is known for not using luxury products. Okay. And if you ask them to sell luxury products, it will really not be authentic, it will be kind of unreal to their followers, their audience as well. कि भाई हमें पता है कि तू नई Lancome यूज करेगी, तू नई Keristas यूज नहीं करेगी, तू on a daily basis Gucci Prada नहीं पहनती है. It just does not resonate with the creator. Right. So why would a brand want to place themselves in that sort of space? Right. I feel like, and a lot of brands still do without getting any ROI. So for brands, I really feel like they should really pick out handfully the creators that they are partnering with. Okay. And they should really look at, rather than numbers point of view, rather than views point of view, they should really look at ROI, they should look at leads, they should look at, are they really getting sales, are their products really getting sold, let's say if there's a feature, if there's an app, so are you getting downloads? Right. That's the ROI. Right. That's the real ROI. Makes sense. So, okay, now talking about it, because one of the main reasons why this podcast is happening is because we want people, initially someone who's not into the industry, to get an idea कि इस industry में how do things work, how much can you expect out of this industry, right? So I would say for a follower, for an influencer with your range of followers, how much would you say you'd be earning? You can give a range. For me particularly, or for, I mean, you can talk for yourself, and then you can also give a range as to कि इससे इस range के जो followers वाले influencers हैं वो approximately इतना कमाते हैं per month. Although it is very subjective to their genre, the kind of content that they are creating, the kind of brands that they are collaborating with, that matters the most. Because सारी brands same amount of money pay नहीं करती. हो सकता है किसी महीने तुम्हें ब्रांड कोलैब्स आ रहे हैं, किसी महीने तुम्हें नहीं आ रहे. Okay. It is very subjective, but I can, मतलब, for as much as followers that, like, for somebody with 100k plus followers, somewhere between 100 to 500k, if you say that as a range, okay, I would really recommend them to continue content creation and give your full to it. You got till 100k because of something, and you have it. If you're 100k plus, I really feel like you have it, and it's not just very accidental. You've really worked for it and you've earned it. Right. So you have it, and you should really take that plunge, take that chance, and do this full time, because you'll be stable, you'll be able to feed yourself, and honestly, if you're from media, so you must be knowing that media people do not earn much. So फिर तुम media वाले लोगों से तो ज़्यादा ही कमा लोगे. Yeah. The employees in this industry do not earn much. You will be able to earn well enough. You can expect at least, if I had to give some monetary. Yeah. So, Muskan, for someone with your range of followers, right? How much can you expect to earn in a month? If you don't look at the subjectivity involved, you can at least expect, although, yeah, of course it's subjective, but you can at least expect 50,000 a month. 50,000 a month, right? 50,000 a month. And how many brand campaigns would you need to do in a month? From a single brand campaign, I'm assuming that, let's go by the least. So let's say one brand campaign a month. Wow, okay. You can at least expect 50,000 a month. Okay, so approximately 50k is something that they pay influencers above 100k. Yeah, but it's very subjective.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
the thing is, depending on niche, depending on a lot of things,
Yeah,
it
but
can
these
change.
these numbers are they vary
Right.
so much.
So much. No, we've heard. I've honestly heard that we've spoken to so many influencers now,
Yeah.
so I know that the numbers vary a lot. All right. And how many collaborations per month do influencers above 100K do?
It depends on them. They get a lot of opportunities.
Okay.
Honestly, brands reach out left, right, center.
Okay.
So they do get a lot of opportunities, but it depends on them if they want to take it up or not. Let's say fashion people or beauty people do a lot of brand collabs.
Okay.
Not a lot of comedy people. I mean, people from comedy genre or storytelling genre do it. So it depends on them. I mean, you get a lot of opportunities and you will. It depends on you, and हर महीने सेम इनकम नहीं होती कभी.
Right.
कभी you're earning only like 20,000, कभी you're earning a lakh, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs a month. It goes till that.
Right.
So it depends on you. But at least if you want to be stable, if you want to be able to feed yourself, I would recommend take up at least 2 brand deals a month. Take up, however it is, and try actually working with the brand, because the more you work with different kinds of brands, different kind of campaigns, the more you'll grow as a creator and from the business aspect of it, because every brand comes with a altogether different campaign, different ideologies, different guidelines and manuals that you have to work under.
Right.
So it's really fun. It's genuinely a lot of fun to work with brands. But yeah, there are times when brands do not give creative liberty, so that's sad.
Yeah. Okay, understood. So now coming back to your personal life, can you tell us something about how being an influencer or a content creator has affected your personal life? Right? What is your dating situation? You know, what are you doing with that? What is happening?
A dating situation?
Yeah, like your romantic life, so to say.
It's as dry as my state Rajasthan. It's really dry.
Really? But one would expect...
It's dry, yeah.
But one would expect with so many followers, you'd perhaps be getting a lot more attention than normal? Or then...
No, really.
It doesn't change?
No, really, it doesn't. I mean, I've been brought up in a very grounded family, and all my friends... and then right when I became a thing on the internet, my friends used to make sure that I'm grounded, so they used to bully me or like just roast me on a daily basis.
Right.
So I never felt like, I mean, I knew that I was a deal, but they never made me feel like, oh, अब तो तेरे बहुत सारे followers हो गए, तेरे को तो बहुत सारे ऐसे DM for रिश्तास आएंगे, or the people will be just like asking you out on the DMs. That does happen, but again, I don't want to go out with somebody who asks me ऐसे just
randomly. Right. Makes sense. You want to tell a story? Is there of some weird story about how you've been approached or something? Did something weird ever happen?
A lot of stuff happened, bro.
Can you give us like some anecdote which you think was...
I'm gonna have to think.
Yeah, please.
Oh yeah, okay. So there was a guy that I had gone out on, and we had gone out on 3 or 4 dates, और 4 dates तक ना मैंने उसको नहीं बताया. I made sure that I did not let him know. Yeah, he did not know me from earlier, and I'm glad. मैं नहीं चाहती कि भाई सामने वाले को पता हो कि मेरा काम क्या है या मैं कैसी हूँ on the internet.
Right.
It's just very embarrassing. I just don't want him to get that idea of me, because I'm very different in real life.
Right.
Yeah, so 4 डेट्स तक मैंने उसको नहीं बताया कि मैं क्या करती हूँ. लाइक मैं घुमा रही थी, मैं फ्रीलांसिंग करती हूँ, वो डिफरेंट ब्रांड. या नॉट लाइक ही केयर्ड आल्सो, सैडली. सो या आई मीन, बट हाँ, फिर उसको ना फोर्थ डेट पर मैंने उसको बता दिया था, and he was like, oh my god. या फिर I think he told me that he saw me on the internet, and he was like, उसको लगा कि मैं किसी कंपनी
के लिए ब्रांड कर रहे हो.
एज अ फ्रीलांसर. उसको तब तक भी नहीं पता था कि मैं एक क्रिएटर हूँ और आई एम समबडी ऑन द इंटरनेट. और फिर तभी जब हम मिले थे तो मैंने उसको बताया कि ऐसा है. ओ तो नाउ अब मुझे से भाग देना पड़ेगा क्या तेरे को? लाइक नहीं, कोई जरूरत नहीं है, मेरे को नहीं चाहिए.
So did something happen after that? No, it didn't.
With that guy?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
It's been sad.
Okay. So Muskan, one of the questions that I had from you is that a lot of people often label comedy niche ke creators as cringe creators. A lot of people find their content cringe, right? And what would you say about that? Does that ever change how you perceive your content or how you perceive yourself?
Not really. I find my own content cringe. It's okay. I get it, people. But it's really subjective. there's an audience for every kind of content, especially in India. So I really feel like कुछ लोग क्रिंज बना के भी खुश हैं, कुछ लोग ना क्रिंज बना के भी दुखी है, तो क्या ही फर्क पड़ता है, सब सारा कंटेंट लोग देखते हैं. Does not matter as long as you're getting views, you're getting engagement, you're getting followership, you're building a family for yourself, you're getting fame and you're getting money. It really does not matter. You shouldn't मतलब कोई आपको क्रिंज बुला रहा है, ठीक है, क्या फर्क पड़ता है. पैसा नहीं रुकना चाहिए मेजरली. मैं मारवाड़ी हूँ, I gotta give that advice. पैसा आना बंद नहीं होना चाहिए. मेरे साथ हो रखा है, मुझे लगा कि यार मैं बहुत ज्यादा क्रिंज तो नहीं बना रही हूँ, तो फिर मैंने बनाना ही छोड़ दिया था बिकॉज ऑफ सेल्फ एस्टीम, कॉन्फिडेंस इश्यूज. तो फिर अब पैसा नहीं आ रहा था, तो यार पैसा इंपॉर्टेंट है.
So नहीं, but I mean I completely agree with this point, but what I feel is I mean, I was also a creator, right? I started content creation and then I sort of created different kinds of content. I was also testing out, started with fashion, then realized that I love talking, so I started making like, you know, the rant videos, rant reels, like I think exactly. But usse kya hua na, I think after a point, I felt like people classified me as like a cringe sort of creator, and that sort of started hurting my prospects in career, like career wise.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you think about that? Like, does it ever impact your career life? Like, you were also taking a job, you were also doing an MBA.
Yeah.
So let's say you are a creator, but you also have a job, right? And you are not planning to do this full time.
Yeah.
Right? So would you think content also sort of like affects your personal career life, your professional life? The kind of content that you make, did it ever impact you? Like, were you, when you were handling a brand, the kind of content that you make?
It wasn't really related. In my case, it wasn't really related, but I get it. Like in the case of a lot of people, it can be related. Never take it personally. Whatever people's opinions are regarding you and your content, as long as जो भी तुम बना रहे हो ना, it's true to yourself, और तुम्हें पता है कि your exact personality is reflecting out of that piece of content.
Right.
Be it anything, even if you're ranting about something, you should be really pissed at it. Even if you're creating fashion, you should actually apply that fashion in your real life. Apply those hacks, or it can be anything.
Okay.
If you're a beauty creator, if you're following a certain skincare routine, 7-step skincare routine for yourself, you should actually do that in real life. So it should be whatever content you're creating, it should really be you. And as long as you are honest with the content that you create, or the work that you do, the work that you show, तुम्हें बुरा नहीं लगना चाहिए. Just be unapologetically you.
Okay. And okay, so another question. So a lot of influencers are called to these very looking glamorous events. Like I think you were recently called to a Netflix sort of Netflix screening or an Archie's. I forgot, there was a screening happening for Archie's, right?
I didn't go, bro.
You didn't go for that screening? Why?
I was invited, but I didn't go. I just got lazy.
Dude, really? I thought it's a big opportunity, right?
It was a big networking event.
Okay.
But I really did not feel like going. Plus, I had other commitments.
No, makes sense. But I'm talking in general, like how. So we often see these glamorous events by Google, by Netflix, right? And then we see a lot of creators in the stories, right? How does that happen? How do they decide whom to call, whom not to call? Ye kaise?
It's a certain when it comes to events, there's not a lot of classification.
Okay.
They're not very precise when it comes to the number of creators. It's just the number of followers. And there are certain conditions that certain criteria that they might or might not tick. So it really depends on that.
Okay. Okay.
तो मतलब कोई भी event है तो certain criteria होते हैं कि ठीक है 1 million plus followers होने चाहिए, ये genre होना चाहिए, ये engagement होना चाहिए. I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, that is pretty much it. And there is no payment of any sort involved. This is just a networking event that happens.
A lot of events are paid, a lot of events are not paid, depends.
So there are paid events also?
Yeah, there are.
And what kind of events are these? Like what happens in these events basically?
I mean, for example, if it's a Maybelline event,
okay.
If it's a L'Oreal event,
okay.
So it's like a deal where you have to provide them with a reel.
Go to the event,
video stories, yeah.
Okay.
Mostly when it's a reel, it's definitely paid. And as an audience also, you look at the reel and you realize कि अच्छा ठीक है cameraman को लेकर गए, videographer को लेकर गए event में, तो फिर it looks like it's obviously staged.
Right. Makes sense. ठीक है. All right. So I think this was mostly about it. But I also had another question about the influencer industry. We see a lot of people sort of together. We see a lot of people together, but we're not really sure if it's actually true. Like they depict a lot of things on Instagram. Like I have seen so many creators becoming best friends and fighting, and they've captured their fight also, mind you. I'll talk about.
Really?
Yeah. The entire fight was actually captured. You see so many things like these happening. So you tell me how much of it is real. We don't get to know from a third party point of view, right?
You never know, but matlab, I know a lot of people, I know a lot of creators who just friends, best friends, lovers for creation's sake, for the content's sake.
I mean, and it's really seemed to. I mean, there was Shreya Kalra and Rishabh, right? I think one of the most well-known creators.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, I know.
You see, it's on the.
Yeah.
This is one example, right? There are also.
I met them in real life. I met them in there was AP-3. I went in Meta.
Yeah.
They were called in Meta's office to meet AP-3, and I saw them in that event.
Okay. So no, I'm just saying these are one of the. I'm top of my head. जो मेरे को creators याद आ रहे हैं who are basically leveraging couple content or sort of that kind of content. I mean, they're great in real life also, I'm sure. But वैसे, I'm giving you an example कि ऐसे, do you think there are also people who are doing it just for?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, and honestly, whatever sells their boat. Even if it's a fake relationship and even if people are buying it, it's fine. But morally, that's really not cool.
Okay.
Don't do that. I mean, why would you fake a relationship, भाई? और मैं तो कर भी नहीं सकती relationship fake में तो घर वाले एक तो सारे रिश्तेदार follow करते हैं, सारे घर वाले follow करते हैं, and I cannot officially have a boyfriend.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Main question is, how old are you?
23.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but you guys also are you belong to, I think you told me, right? A very conservative sort of background.
I mean, my family is comparatively very chill, but the place that I'm coming from, मतलब proper that Marwadi community, तो वहाँ पे बहुत जल्दी शादियाँ हो जाती है, at least लड़की की तो by the time they're 25 they get married, and I mean, yeah, by the time that nothing else, I can't say more.
So one of the questions that I think बहुत सारे लोगों के mind में आता है when you think about content creation is that do you think it is a bubble? Does it have a future? Does it scare you? Or what does it make you feel? The future of content creation.
As Web3 now coming in picture and a lot of AI influencers coming in the picture, it's gonna get tougher.
Okay.
And सबके पास phone है, सबके पास Instagram है, सबके पास camera है, videography कर सकते हैं सब लोग. Everybody is a content creator nowadays, right? Everybody is skillful. They represent their skill set in whatever format, whatever genre, whatever content piece that they're trying to make. So I feel like in the coming future, it's gonna like the whole market is gonna get saturated left, right, center.
Okay.
Yeah. But I also feel like there's gonna be better space. There's gonna be better ads, better branded content, better space for brands to plug in their content pieces, plug in their products in very seamlessly, plug in their content or their products and services into the brand content.
Okay.
And I'm just very hopeful also because I have seen it working. I've seen it for Zomato, Blinkit, I've seen it for Dunzo, I've seen it for Zomato. These are just one sector, but I can tell you FMCG, although HUL doesn't give a great creative liberty, but I've seen FMCG brands
working. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So I feel like in the coming future, if any brand manager is watching this, in the coming future, as long as the brand is giving the creator full extreme liberty and a good timeline, because usually जब brands आती है तो they come with very strict deadlines, very strict timelines.
I understand.
And we just get like, and for people from my genre particularly who take time, or storytelling genre, who take time to script, who take time to brainstorm, there's a story stitched to it. So we kind of take time and it depends on the creators also, but for me I can tell that I need like a good amount of time and I can make sure that I create the best branded content out there in a way that it gives ROI to the brand as well, and it gives and my audience is being entertained at the end of the day.
Right. Makes sense. Interesting. But you think there is scope, right? But also tell me about it. You don't know when. Okay, I could start posting now.
Yeah.
Right, and it could be after 3 months I could have 100k followers.
Yeah.
Or it could be after 6 months I still don't have enough followers. Right? People are getting traction really quickly.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes accounts get viral. People start getting 10k, 15k, 20k followers over a very short period of time. Does that scare you? right? Because you are at a certain pedestal right now, right? You classify yourself as a macro influencer, right? At a certain pedestal right now. Does it scare you? Because if people are able to reach your level of followership, which you built over 3 years, in 3 months, then it's like, because see, this doesn't happen in corporate.
Right.
In corporates, if I've worked 3 years to get to a certain position like a senior associate or something, then I don't expect someone who's getting into the industry right now to cover that distance. So jitna time laga tha, utna time lagega. I mean,
content industry is very different, bro.
Exactly.
Because like the amount of hard work that Ashish Chanchlani, Bhuvan Bum, none of us are even there yet. None of us. Sure. I mean, nobody who is famous on Instagram right now is there. What the kind of benchmark that they have created,
right?
And they have put so much of hard work. तो वो भी हमारे लिए ऐसे कह सकते हैं. हम भी हमसे छोटे creators के लिए ऐसे कह सकते हैं.
हाँ.
So I just feel like it's really about maintaining the fame. It's really about sticking to it, being relevant throughout.
Okay.
I love how Ashish Chanchlani has maintained relevance. I love how, man, I love Rakhi Sawant. I always bring up her in any of the conversations that I make. So I love how relevant. I mean, she's very smart in terms of PR. I mean, I love her PR team. Her and Urfi Javed's PR team. I feel like it's very smart in the way that they've stood relevant for so long. And in the current trends, in the current scenario of content, it's very difficult to stay relevant. तुम एक ही type of content कितना भी produce करो, कितना भी deliver करो, audience will get saturated, audience will get bored. So you have to keep experimenting.
And what do you think about publicity stunts, right? Like you just mentioned Urfi, right? And Rakhi Sawant, right? Now a lot of these people have been asserted to engage in a lot of publicity, which is not essentially, I wouldn't say morally incorrect. ठीक है, they're free to do that, but you wouldn't call it ideal. The ideal way to engage, the ideal way to basically get attention, right? What do you think about that? Is the content industry all fair? कि कुछ भी करो, as long as you're getting eyeballs, that's all right.
Yeah, bro. कुछ भी करो. Yeah, any PR is PR. It can be negative, it can be positive.
Okay.
Everybody spoke negative about Archie's, but they spoke negative after watching Archie's. People watched Archie's.
And I think there was a lot of conflict also, because I remember clearly that like a whole group of creators were criticizing it at the beginning, and then suddenly after 3 days I see a story telling how great the storyline is, and wow.
No, I honestly do not like I honestly do not like Archie's at all, but I'm just giving you an example. Even if negative publicity हो रही है, लोग देख रहे हैं ना. Like for example, मेरी फ्रेंड को मैंने बताया कि भाई ये बहुत ही गंदी न्यूज़ ने सुहाना खान ने ऐसा करा है, खुशी कपूर ने ऐसा करा है, they could have done so much better. मेरी फ्रेंड सब देखी कि यार इतना क्या बुरा किया,
right?
ऐसा तो क्या है कि सब बात कर रहे हैं. So to stay relevant, आपकी बात होना जरूरी है. अच्छी बात हो रही है या गंदी बात हो रही है, इससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता. And in the industry as well, and that's something that I really believe in, कि जब तक तुम्हारी बात हो रही है, that's what matters.
Okay.
And that's the whole fucking point of a PR. I mean,
right. Okay, makes sense. I mean, this is very different from how essentially you would think if you're not a content creator, right? Because Because
if I was from
if you were looking at it from a normal perspective, right? I feel with content creation, these things don't stay in your head. Like, अगर कुछ negative connotation आई है around your name, if I'm a normal person, I would think it lives with me. For me, I will believe कि if I've done that, it lives with me. If you're a creator, I feel you get over it really quickly.
No. That does not happen. Okay. And it's just really about how the creator is taking it.
Okay.
Urfi took it in such a cool way, honestly, and the way she flipped her public image, she genuinely flipped. Now people know her because of her confidence. People used to know her earlier because of her clothes and how, you know, it was not appropriate as per Indian audience, but now people are appreciating her for her confidence. At least she's talked about, and at least she's relevant till date. So because of her relevance, brands like Zomato, Netflix have been collaborating with Urfi Javed. So it's really just the relevance that matters.
So, okay, essentially, if I'm distilling down the argument, would you say that for someone who's trying to enter the industry, right, and want to make it into the industry, wants to become popular quick, would you think that one strategy is to do something which is not essentially morally appreciable and then try to turn that narrative around? Could that
It's
work?
a smart move, but do whatever's raw to you, honestly. If it's not, matlab, if you cannot pull that off, don't do it. Don't try. Been there, done that.
Really?
Yeah, been there, done that. If you try something that you're really not, don't do it. Just don't do it. It's only going to embarrass yourself. Don't do it. That's why I keep putting emphasis on how it is important to be so raw to your people, your community, your content, and the kind of content that you are providing, because it should really reflect who you really are. But although I really feel like that is a very smart move, so if somebody with as much balls as Urfi could do, they should really go ahead with that.
Okay.
And with any kind of PR comes positives and the negatives. Mostly negatives. If you're making it big out there, there's going to be more negatives than positives as far as I've seen.
When you go into these events, these networking events, right? There are people with different follower range, right? 100 to 150, 100 to 200, let's say. Then there is 200 above, or let's say 500 above. That's a macro level classification that you're going at. Can you feel it when I'm having a conversation that you're a 500k or a 600k followers wala influencer, and let's say I'm at 150 or 160 or like even 100? Do I make it, is it obvious in the conversation? Do they make you feel कि ये थोड़ा classification है, we're a little above?
A lot, I'm not gonna lie, and for someone who is really not from the industry, who did not even know that this was a real thing, when you go out there, although it really depends on people, how they treat you, how comforting they are, I'm not gonna lie, I've had the bestest experiences. I mean, 1 million, 2 million फॉलोअर्स वालों ने भी कभी मुझे ऐसे फील नहीं करवाया कि यार तुम तो छोटी फॉलोअर, सॉरी तुम तो छोटी क्रिएटर हो, या तुम्हारा कंटेंट ऐसा है, या फिर कभी ऐसे फील नहीं कराया. और कभी आई एम एट 170k और 200k वाली ने मुझे ऐसे दे लुक डाउन ऑन मी, एंड डाउन ऑन मी इन अ वे that is just sad. I can't even say that on camera, but like in a way that down on me, not just in terms of content or the number of followers I have, but down on my own family, like whole family, like that much I've had. And these showbiz wale events now, they're just glamorous to look at. Like internally they're effing boring. They're very boring. They are entertaining, they're boring, they're just a lot of being fake nice, a lot of being hi, oh I love your content, even if I don't watch your content, but I love your content. Yeah, that is a lot of people.
Essentially, when you get there, she could actually ask you what do you think about my last reel actually, did you go through that? But okay, so you're saying it varies person to person, how they're but is there a classification in the industry? मतलब ऐसा होता है, like essentially क्या होता है, if you, again I am always drawing a parallel to corporate structures because that's what
I know.
I'm looking at right now. What do you think about it? कि senior people are seated like at the front at a certain event, and people who have lesser authority constantly पीछे, right? Does that happen in events? Is there a classification जो event organizer create करते हैं कि ज़्यादा followers वाले will be in a certain area, कम followers वाले will be in a certain area?
From the brand's point of view, if you're invited to the event, everyone's treated the same. Everyone's treated, and that's a great thing, honestly. I've never seen any diversion, any classification.
But is
there
1
million को special treatment है और 170k को नहीं है.
But is there a groupism there when you enter? Is it like
groupism? Yes, but that's internally between the creators. But the brands make sure that they never classify, and that's the best thing.
And when creators are sort of interacting, networking, do they look at the followers and network?
Yeah, a lot of creators, man. A lot of creators are very petty.
So they'll always look at the followers before.
A lot of creators are not. I mean, you get to know after a certain point of time. तुम एक event करोगे तुम्हें पता नहीं चलेगा. तुम 2 event करोगे तुम्हें पता नहीं चलेगा. Like, और जब तक तीसरे चौथे इवेंट्स होंगे, when you keep meeting these people, तब तक तुम्हें realize हो जाएगा कि मतलब ठीक है, कौन सही में genuine है, कौन नहीं है, कौन who is looking down on you, who is kind of disrespecting you just on the number of followers. मुझे तो समझ नहीं आता कि why do you have to look down on somebody if they just have lesser number of followers या lesser engagement. Look at the quality content that they are creating. Look at the personality. Look at the kind of person they are off camera.
Makes sense. Unfortunately, I don't think that happened.
That really does not happen.
Right now.
And I'll tell you what. I'm not taking any names, but अगर कोई creator है who's going crazy viral right now, like she or he, they're just like very talked about right now. Everyone in the party is going to just go talk to them, just going to hang around, just going to put stories with them and everything. I recently got to know that all of this matters in the creator space. I was having a conversation with one of my really close creator friends, and they told me that कि यार मेरे इतने फॉलोअर्स हैं, तो वो आई और उसने मेरे साथ फोटो खिंचाया और उसने मेरे साथ स्टोरी डाली. उसको जैसे पता चला कि मेरे इतने सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ फॉलोअर्स हैं, तो उसके फॉलोअर्स मेरे से 1/4 थे. तो आई वाज लाइक ऐसा सब होता भी है क्या, ऐसा सब लोग सोचते भी. आई डोंट इवन नो दैट. तो इट्स वेरी रिसेंटली दैट आई फिगर्ड आउट कि ओके अच्छा, इसलिए आई वाज लुक्ड डाउन अपॉन माय फॉलोअर्स. ओके, पीपल रियली गिव अ शिट टू फॉलोअर्स. या फिर जो अभी करंटली whoever is talked about, and people like creators are very smart, so they know कि अभी मीडिया में क्या चल रहा है, अभी PR किसका सबसे ज़्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग चल रहा है, so they'll hang around more with.
So how do you get to know these things? Do you have I mean, how I understand कि at a higher level people do have agencies, right, with after a certain number of followers, but how do you essentially get to know कि किसका PR strong चल रहा है or who is more talked about right now?
मैं कंटेंट क्रिएटर के साथ साथ कंटेंट कंज्यूमर भी तो मैं एक ऑडियंस भी हूँ.
Okay.
तो अगर मुझे पता चल रहा है कि मेरी फीड पे रोज तेरा कंटेंट आ रहा है, यू डूइंग अमेजिंग, यू गेटिंग क्रेजी नंबर ऑफ फॉलोअर्स, योर कंटेंट इज आल्सो गुड, तो मुझे पता चलेगा ना कि obviously the brands are approaching you, you're making it to news headlines, you're making it to events, you're making it to greatest of brand collabs, greatest of brands that you're working with. So I mean, as a content consumer, you're also an audience. We're all an audience. So we get to know in general. तो एक estimate from a third person's point of view से ही सबसे ज़्यादा पता चलता है. और internally it does not matter. सबसे ज़्यादा matter ये करता है कि whenever, I mean, I look at my content from a third person's point of view as well. Second person's point of view, sorry. कि मुझे मेरा content पसंद तो आ रहा है अगर मैं उसको एक consumer की तरह देखूँ.
Right. ठीक है. Okay, so hi, we're gonna start with a very fiery rapid fire round with Muskaan, and let's see how she performs here. Okay, 2 rules: be honest and be you. Done?
Okay,
Perfect.
cool.
Let's go. Hottest influencer right now?
सयम, शर्मा जी का बड़ा बेटा.
Okay, nice. An overrated influencer?
आशिका भाटिया.
Okay. Who is your competitor?
People from my genre.
Everybody from your genre.
Yeah, everyone from my genre.
Okay, then who is, okay, perhaps you can talk about one influencer who you look up to from your genre.
Dharna.
Yeah,
I really look up to
Dude, Dharna was,
bro, I love
her journey was so beautiful. I think it was last year that she started, 2 years before that she got viral. Recently,
she also stopped. Like, we kind of had similar journeys where she also stopped and started going to her office, mama papa ke sath, mummy ke sath office jaane lag gayi thi.
Okay,
she's had a dip.
And then recently again she started content and she picked up, like, I think one of her reels was shared by Deepika Padukone. Yeah, I saw. Oh my god, I remember. Okay, and an influencer who got it easy, like who got quick fame, got famous very quickly. The Rebel Kid, yeah, for sure. An underrated influencer?
Aapka Jugs. Very underrated, dude. Deserves so much more, and I want him to grow. Please, someday.
Okay. What is the percentage of influencers who depict their real life on Instagram?
20%.
20%. What is the one lie that every influencer has told at some point in their life?
Be yourself. I love you all. Be natural, of course. Look at me, I'm so natural.
I'm not
7
using anything.
layers of, I'm not using anything on my face despite of 7 layers of makeup.
Okay. What do influencers think but don't say on camera?
पैसा सबको कमाना है और सब यहाँ पे पैसे के लिए है. After a point of time, कोई creativity के लिए नहीं रहता.
Okay, very honest. A brand that you would love to collaborate with?
A brand, I want to work with Netflix, I want to work with Swiggy, I want to work with Google. I have like a list of brands that I want to work with, but there's a particular brand that not a lot of people want to work with, but Torani. They have a beautiful, every time they're launching their new collection. They have this proper story, they have this proper film out of it, and they've casted Kusha, they've casted Dolly, they've casted Vijay Verma, and such great actors. And the storyline is so strong, so beautiful, their collection is so beautiful, and I really want to work with the designers. Yeah.
Okay. A rumor about you that you wish someone would start.
Someone would start?
Yeah.
I'm dating somebody from the industry.
Are you?
Am I?
Okay. What is the weirdest way that you've been approached as an influencer?
Randomly showing up at my house. That's so weird.
Someone randomly showed up at
Yeah.
your house? Oh my god.
At my house in my hometown. That was very weird and that was very creepy. But yeah.
Okay. Now this section is called debunking myths. You have to say true or false.
Okay.
Okay? Being an influencer does not require any specific skills. True or false?
True.
Okay. Okay. Anybody can be an influencer. True or false?
True.
Okay. Influencers with around 100k followers earn approximately more than 1 lakh in a month. True or false?
Might be true, but majorly false.
Majorly false. Yeah. Okay. The influencer industry is shallow. True or false?
True.
Male influencers get a lot of female attention. True or false?
True. Damn true. Bro, yesterday I met. Okay, so I met this creator friend of mine who was showing his 80-20 ratio, 80% female followers.
Really?
Yes.
So, are you saying male influencers have massively
yeah, I feel like I seriously feel like for male influencers who have like crazy female followership, their female followers are so
devoted,
so damn loyal.
Yeah.
So damn loyal, and I've seen them like I've met those creators in real life, right? So I've seen girls approaching them and like hitting on them in front of them, hitting on them. Like there was an auntie only. She was married. And she was married, 10 years of marriage, and she was hitting on that creator friend of mine.
Damn. I think most of these male creators who have this ratio from fashion, mostly from fashion.
No. Lesser from fashion, might or might not be from fashion, but definitely from storytelling.
Oh, yeah. Storytelling. There's this creator that I honestly love, Priyanshu. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I know Priyanshu.
I love his content, beautiful content. Story.
His idea of cinema.
Yeah.
His idea of storytelling.
Beautiful. I loved it. Okay. Never have I ever. Okay, just 2 questions. Never have I ever hooked up with another influencer.
Never.
Okay. Never have I ever come back from an event and bitched about it later.
Always.
Okay. Perfect. I think we're done. Thank you so much.